subscribe, join the fam for some sit downs, vlogs, chatting with Chrissy, and of course, Chrissy Cooks.
Go, Mommy! Go, Mommy! That was fun!
Hey, what up, fam? Thank you for joining me on this episode of Chrissy Cooks. If you're in a pinch and you need to create a quick dessert, I have something here for you. We're going to show you how to make this apple bake. Stay tuned. Okay, first we're going to start off with some cleaned Granny Smith apples. Right here, you're going to see me just chopping them up. I'm going to go ahead and core them. I'm actually only going to use 2 of the Granny Smith apples. Now, if you are an avid apple lover, you can use all 3 of them, or you can even use 4, depending on what you like, but I'm only going to use 2. All you see me doing here is just cutting out the cores. Now I'm going to slice them, and then I'm going to chop them up into fairly small pieces. Now, if you like, you can definitely slice them thin and use them sliced thin. I just chose to chop them up this way. But hey, whatever you like, if you want to use them in slices, you're more than welcome to. The recipe will still be the same. Now, y'all don't clown me. You know my knife skills are not the best, but I get it done. So I have completed chopping up my apples. As you can see, this is what I chose to do. I'm going to go ahead and get a plastic bowl, and I'm going to put these apples in a bowl. I'm going to set them to the side and start with the next step. Yep, you see it. Cinnamon rolls. Cinnamon rolls, you guys. Any type of cinnamon rolls you see, they do not have to be this particular brand. They can actually be generic brand. The recipe will still turn out the same. So go ahead and remove the cinnamon rolls from the packaging. Yes, you're going to need 2. And we're going to also use the cream or the icing that comes with it. So just take that out and set it to the side. So I went ahead and got a bowl, and we're going to go ahead and chop these up into cubes. I sliced them twice, turned them, and sliced them twice again, which in turn is giving me cubes. If that's too much slicing for you, you can slice them down the middle once, turn them once, and slice them, and then you'll have larger cubes in a set of 4. But it's fairly easy to do this. I don't see any problem. Actually, this whole recipe is semi-homemade, and it is very simple. So there we have it, the cinnamon rolls and chopped apples. We're going to put those in bowls and set them to the side. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to crack 4 eggs into this bowl. Then I'm going to go in with about a teaspoon of cinnamon. You may add more cinnamon if you like. If you are a nutmeg fan, you can definitely add a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg right here, but I do not like it. So I'm going to go ahead in with a teaspoon of vanilla extract, the pure vanilla extract that is. Please do not use the imitation. It does not taste the same. I'm going to go ahead and give this little mixture a little beat. And I'm also going to go in with a 1/2 cup of milk. I would suggest whole milk, but the people in my household, the majority of everyone in here is lactose intolerant besides Marcel, so we use lactose-free milk. They do have a whole version in that if you're lactose intolerant as well. So once that's beaten, we're going to go ahead to our stove and we're going to put in about 2 tablespoons of butter into your hot skillet and go ahead and get that melted. Once your butter is melted, we're going to go ahead and pour in our apples. And then we're going to pour in a full cup of packed brown sugar. We're going to go ahead and break up that brown sugar and incorporate the apples with it. Make sure they're all coated. Now we're going to let those cook and cook down a little bit. We want our apples to get tender. We want that sugar to melt and we want it to bubble just like this. We're going to continue to stir it to ensure that our butter and sugar continue to stay mixed. We don't want the sugar to burn at the bottom of the pan because that would make this dish a very bitter. So we're going to move it around a little bit every so often, and you know it's going to thicken up just ever so slightly. But this has created like a caramel sauce, and that caramel sauce is going to be bomb at the bottom of this recipe. Now we're going over to our pan. Y'all know I love my disposable aluminum pans. I'm going to go ahead and give that a spray to ensure that none of this sticks. Then I'm going to go ahead in with our chopped up cinnamon rolls. We're going to go ahead and pour those into the pan and spread them out evenly, I guess, or as even as you possibly can get them. Just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and add our egg mixture on top of that. And I am a lover of cinnamon, so I'm going to scrape all of that cinnamon out of there. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go in with your cooked apple that you just did on the stove, and y'all see all of that luscious juice or caramel juice. It's going to settle at the bottom once this is cooked. Now you might think that that might make this dish super soggy. Well, it really doesn't. That juice that sits on the bottom of this dish makes the top of it is delicious, yes, but once you cut down into it and you get that caramel juice at the bottom of this dish, it is to die for. It is so good. So don't get rid of that juice, y'all. Pour it on in there and it will still cook up just fine. Now this is what your dish is going to look like prior to you putting on this luscious icing. I know you guys didn't think we were going to get rid of this. This is not diet food whatsoever. We're going to use everything that came with it. Just go ahead and empty that just one of the icings on top. We're going to use the other one later. And this is what your dish is going to look like prior to putting it in a 350-degree oven for about 30 to 35 minutes or until golden brown. Now once you take this out of the oven, this is what it's going to look like. All golden brown and delicious. Now this is super duper hot. It is hot. It will burn your gums off. I suggest you at least let it cool off for about 15 minutes, because like I told you, That juice has settled to the bottom of this dish. And see, I have let it cool for about 15 minutes. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut it with my spatula. And this is what it looks like, completely cooked through. Y'all see that juice at the bottom? The bottom of this particular dessert is heavenly. Now you can choose to scoop that juice and pour it over top if you like, or you don't have to. But I would suggest that if you don't want to, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. We're going to take that other baby and we're going to drizzle her over the top just like this. Sure that slow motion made your mouth water. This dessert is decadent. It is delicious. It is simple. It is semi-homemade. It doesn't take a lot of fuss. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell for any of my upcoming videos. Make sure you leave me a comment in the comment section below. I love to read you guys' comments, and I do my best to comment back. And until next time, you guys, please, please, please try this dessert. It's simple, it's easy. Your family and friends will love it. Peace.